So you love playing bass, but either bass amps are too big, too complicated, or they're too small, got no guts, and are no fun to play. What do? Let's talk about Katana Bass today. Hey, I'm Danny from Boss, and today we're talking about the Katana Bass. Boss and Roland have made tons of great amplifiers over the years. JC series amplifiers, Next Tone, Katana, Cube. One of the biggest parts about Katana is that it's utilizing tube logic technology. Now, back in the day, even if it wasn't a tube amp, you'll notice that famous amplifiers have a very specific punchiness quality to their sound. What that relationship is that not all amplifiers are created equally. So what's important about the Katana series, including the Katana Bass, is that they feel great under your fingertips. If you dig in, they're gonna dig with you and they're gonna react to your playing. That's what the Katana amp line does for you, and that's why we're looking at the Katana Bass today. So the Katana Bass comes in two permutations. The Katana-110, which is a 1x10 with a 60-watt power amp, and the 2x10, which is two 10-inch speakers with a 160-watt power amp. So it's laid out very straightforward. You have your input effects, which is your compressors and drives, your amplifier type, your blend, your EQ, a little bit of effects on the back end, your master, and your tone saving. Most of the knobs on the front panel have a variation switch. This allows you to quickly access three different settings, green, yellow, and red, based on what settings you have set up in the Boss Tone Studio app or by default on the unit. For drive, you have three different types of drive. Different fuzzes, different overdrive, stuff like that. You also have three different compressors at your disposal as well. This is really good if you're switching different basses around, but you don't want to dive into the Boss Tone Studio editor every time you play a different bass. That way you can have three different compressor settings set up at all times for you. You have three different amplifier types. Vintage, flat, and modern. Vintage amplifier is going to have a little bit of more dirt to it, a little rounder tone, whereas a modern amplifier is going to have a little bit more of a full range effect. You have a pad, of course. You have three shapes. So every single amplifier has three different shape configurations, which changes the tonality of that amp model. You got vintage. Here is flat. Very flat sounding. This would be good if you want to have a really neutral bass tone, like you're going direct to a studio mixer of some kind, or if you're plugging in an acoustic instrument of some kind. Modern is much fuller and has a great, great sound. Now the blend is not as simple as it seems. When you turn up the blend, in green mode, it is a full clean blend. In the different modes, you have different low pass filters or high pass filters. So if you want to send just your high frequencies to the power amp directly or opposite, you can do that with the blend control and you can change the configuration in the editor. Very cool. No great amplifier is complete without an awesome EQ section. What we do with the Katana Bass is it's still very straightforward. You have a bass, you have a low mid, a high mid, and treble. What's unique is the low mid and high mid controls have three different variations, which is three different frequency ranges that they're pushing or cutting with the low mid control. Again, keeping it flexible, but keeping it simple. So it's not very common to see a lot of great effects in a bass amplifier, but bass players need love too. They want to experiment, they want to have lots of great tones available. You have 2 concentric pots, which is your 2 effects, and then you have 3 variations available on each effect. And there's a lot of inspiration to be had with having such a high amount of great effects in your amplifier. We have a master volume and a tweeter defeat button that turns off the tweeter, which is great if you want a little smoother of a sound. We also offer a power control on the Katana Bass, which is really good if you want to have great tones that are still punchy in a quiet environment. Keeping it simple, we have 3 presets available for you on the Katana Bass, as well as panel mode, which reflects whatever the settings are set to on the unit. So the Katana Bass has many ins and outs on the back of the unit. You have a balanced output, you have an effects loop, you have an auxiliary in, you have a great headphone amp system, you have a foot switch jack, whether it be a standard 2-button foot switch or our GAFC, which is a 6-button foot switch. What's also really great about the Katana Bass is it supports USB recording and Boss Tone Studio access via your computer. It is also compatible with the Bluetooth audio adapter found on many of our other products. What this means is that you can add the functionality to have Bluetooth audio coming into your amplifier from, say, a phone or tablet or any Bluetooth audio source. You can also use the Bluetooth audio adapter to connect to the Boss Tone Studio app that will be available for the Katana Bass. So that was a brief overview of the Katana Bass. It's a fun, inspirational amplifier to play through. I guarantee you, if you try this in a store or take it home, you are going to be addicted to playing bass again, because this thing sounds great at any volume level, is punchy, feels good, and is a blast to play. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.